Happy Thursday.
Very cool song.
We are back. I was just telling my staff, man, towards the end of the year last year, we were looking like Fourth Element. And we are back. We are Fifth Element.
That's funny.
Good week so far, dude. Super strong week.
Good month.
Yeah, it's actually been in a really great month compared to the months I was having last year. So.
Yeah, I'm saying that strictly through the eyes of like motivation and discipline and consistency.
Dude, same.
Yeah.
I'm staying hard. I'm staying lean. Don't look like it. My gray sweater's not doing me too good of work. but yeah, I feel good.
Looks good. Looks fine.
It's all right.
It's cool to wear big, sloppy, baggy stuff while you're on like a fitness journey and just keep wearing it. And then one day you put on a shirt that fits and you're like, whoa. Hopefully that day comes.
Mine's just sloppy and tight. It's not. We'll see. But
those are pretty cool.
Yeah, these are cool. I like them a lot. They look good on our team that doesn't weigh too much. They weigh normal weight.
It's an old school classic sweater, cool. No hoodie.
Yeah.
I like working out in those for some reason.
Then we got some QZs. They look good. Our hats came out really good. One, I like our logo, but two, the actual hat itself. Shout out May Innovations with a great recommendation. I love these things.
Hi-oh. Yeah.
Cool.
That looks good.
But
hats are a big deal. I have a peeve with hats. I've had so many hats that are either too tight or the bucket's not tall enough or feels dry on my head. I don't know. I'm weird.
Dry on your head.
I don't know what it is. Like my forehead, it just gets dry. Like they need a better material on that little sweatband.
Dude, that's...
It sands my... I don't know. Probably my noggin's probably bigger than usual, so probably doesn't help. Anyway, today we had an idea. Rather than just ranting, I personally I started thinking about advice, me seeking advice, saving time, and the fact that I've paid money for consulting and coaching in the last year and realized some holes in it, some gains from it, and wished I could get more relevant information. One key thing that I thought of realized is it's important to get information from somebody who's just a few steps ahead of you, whether it's dollar-wise or years put in. For example, I don't need information from a billionaire.
Yeah.
I need information from somebody who's just maybe double what I am or 5 years ahead or something. So I compiled some info that me personally, I wish I would have known earlier, which could have saved me a ton of time and I would have been much further, much faster. So it's relevant to me specifically. I don't know what you have, but I bet some things will be similar. Obviously, I'm further along than you. We have different businesses, but ultimately, I think all the lessons and rules and books that we've both read really do apply to almost everything. And business is business. It doesn't matter what you're selling, I don't think.
Yeah.
Whether it's a service or a product, business is business. And there's some things you could be doing that will fast track whatever your success plan is, I think.
Yeah, I fully agree. I think there's a lot of business is just psychology and the way you think of your business. And then there's obvious fundamentals and they all have the same core principles. So, I mean, you and I often find things that improve one of our businesses and share it with the other, and it immediately improves the other too, even though we provide completely different services. So yeah, I've been doing this for 5 years, and man, I'm so excited about us making content now, because if I had me 5 years ago, which I know there's plenty of guys like this online, I just didn't think I was resourceful enough to look for it. But if I had me 5 years ago, anyone would say that. It's a completely different story. So I try to come up with content in my own personal brand that is for me 5 years ago.
Right.
And dude, I actually already found a couple people. I already had 3 people DM me on TikTok.
Really?
Yeah. Just appreciating the advice. One guy DM'd me on Sunday morning, and he was like, I'll find it and send it to you. Something about I love your content, and
that's awesome.
Please don't stop posting. Because I just started posting. I've only made 10 little clips. And it was just something about please keep the good work up. Like, I love watching your content. And I was like, that's
Yeah, you
crazy.
never know who you could be helping.
Yeah. And then there's this other guy that has an agency similar, and we'll get into it. But
when I was in the gym last
really
night, I
cool.
was thinking something that always pops back up in my mind constantly, always, is like, I don't know what I don't know, and I need to learn how to ask the right questions. Because it's easy to, like, if you're whatever level of business you're at, whatever stage you're in, things arise and you go, oh, wait, how do I do this better? And you could come up with little questions, but I'm like, how do you speed that whole process up?
Yeah.
And I think, well, you know what? Let's do this. And you could stop me where you want to. But what I did is, from yesterday until now, I started just brainstorming, jotting down the things that I wish I would have known, like, right away, right out of the gate. And then, like, in the first couple of years, which likely would have catapulted me into where I'm at. Took, I don't really know when you start the clock, because, I mean, I started so long ago, but I didn't really get my act together until about 30, honestly. Anyway, I made a bunch of bullet points. I think I should just read through this. I went deeper on a lot of it. We can do all of it. We can do some of it, whatever. So let me just read these. So if I boil it down to these bullet points, let's see. If I could talk to myself 10 or 15 years ago, I wouldn't be asking billionaires for advice. I'd be talking to people just a little bit ahead of me. That's one. Another one. I'll just barrel through it so I don't keep saying one. That's another one. I wasted time thinking I needed massive breakthrough when really I just needed discipline and consistency. I spent way too much time assuming other people were smarter, better, or more qualified than me. Had major imposter syndrome, comparison, and fear slowed me down more than the lack of skill ever did. I didn't realize that confidence usually comes after you start, not before. I should have been documenting everything from day one. When your head is down, grinding, the days, months, and years fly by. I did a lot of work, but I didn't track what actually worked and what didn't. I didn't track what money was well spent versus completely wasted. I didn't track which clients led to more clients and why. I didn't ask clients enough. How did we actually do? What could we improve? Clients will literally tell you how to improve if you just ask.
Yeah.
Early on, everything feels overwhelming because everything is new. Things that used to feel impossible eventually become easy. Stress never really goes away, but your capacity grows. I stayed redlined the whole time, but the output behind it kept increasing. When I finally looked back, I realized I was wrong. It was working. Early money should be reinvested, not celebrated. One good month doesn't mean you've made it. Word of mouth helped me, but it didn't amplify early enough. I should have asked for referrals, reviews, and proof sooner. Looking back at progress builds confidence and momentum. I wish I had given myself more credit along the way. So each one of those has like a story behind it and specifics and which one of those resonate with you? Because I got a bunch on all of it. Or do you want me to just keep going? Because
I'll say the three. I think every single one did actually, and a coincidence of this is I just made a little short video about this, about like top 3 things I wish I did different when I started Fifth Element, and literally all 3 of those were in your list. And it was number 1, not in this order, but the first one was documenting everything for my own purposes, for the business growth purposes, and for my own content. Think of how much farther we'd be if we were consistently making quality content for just the past 5 years. The second one was, for me, it was specific to automations because our business is online. I didn't even know until the past couple of years. There's so many things we could do that cut our like delivery time down by like 80%, which is wild. So it's less people on staff, onboarding times faster, et cetera. It could have scaled so much faster, and it took me forever. And it's because I was always obsessed, like you, I think, with the client delivery and experience, and not like in the early stages, you're so nervous and paranoid if their client's going to like your work. They're putting all of your time on the client, and that's a very important. You should be, but you should almost have like a 51% obsession with your business your biz dev and your systems.
Yeah, because the product speaks for itself and will stand the test of time.
Yeah.
But you not answering an email within 1 hour will not stand the test of time.
Yeah, people forget that.
Yeah.
They'll notice patterns if you're like constantly responding 4 days late.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I don't know. I just wish I could have heard that sooner because I delayed so much of like the business development. And what happens is you put so much in the customer service, then you start getting a lot of clients, and then you're out of luck. You're too far behind, and it's like the only way to go back and rebuild stuff is now you're forced to break it down and build it back when you could have just built from day one. And I think that's part of the learning curve, but
yeah. Gosh, I could rant on that one too. Let me barrel into some of these.
Dude, I had a niche one which had to do with my finances, and it was around collecting payments better, so having automated billing for us better.
And that goes back to documenting everything.
Yeah.
So let me just jump ahead to that one because, and then I could circle back, but I think that's okay. I'm going to preface this by saying we're the same, but we're pretty different.
Yeah.
And why am I saying that? Because I am just a messy brained, white knuckle, gut instinct guy with zero process. That's how I've always operated, which I'm not saying is great. You, I think, you're more organized, you're less emotional, and you're more analytical. So that being said, our stories might be a little different in this regard, but it's the same thing.
It's interesting because I feel like I make emotional decisions too, but it's cool hearing the outside perspective.
And you may compared to whatever baseline normal is for people, but I mean, I know.
Yeah.
I fight those things constantly.
Yeah.
So it's like a daily struggle for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. That being said, I wrote it down like this. The big one I missed, documentation. And by the way, this is something I just started doing. So one of my biggest mistakes early on was not documenting anything. When your head is down, grinding 24/7, time disappears. Years go by fast. And when you finally look up, you realize you've done a lot, but you don't actually know why things worked. I didn't document what money was smart, what money was a waste. I didn't document which clients turned into more work. I didn't document what parts of the process actually mattered. This is a massive loss because basically what you're doing by not documenting is throwing away your chance to time warp or speed things up. So, and it's macro and micro. Let's think of an example. So I didn't even think to, like when a mistake happens, like a processing mistake or a document control mistake for us, then this has happened the entire time all the way up until, I don't know, maybe 6-8 months ago. Every time a job closes out, it's always a little bit different, but there's a thing called the closeout package for us, which means I cannot get paid. Banks will not pay, like if it's a bank-funded job, or just simply a client and a landlord who has a deal where they have a tenant improvement allowance. So the client that I'm building for has a deal with the landlord that they're going to pay X amount of dollars towards their TI. They factored that into their business plan. So they quite literally. Hello? There it is.
Hold on.
I think you kicked it.
I think I kicked. Audio levels look good. Check Audacity. All right, we're good.
Is it still going and we just lost mics?
We just lost Mike.
So you're not going to have to sync? Check.
All right. I think we're good. Yeah. Everything looks, we're good.
We lost audio.
I'll fix that.
I don't know where I left off, but basically the example was a missed opportunity to learn specifically. And this applies to literally everything, but the closeout package means if I don't have that ready to go, I won't get paid because they won't get paid. Mm-hmm. The banks who fund jobs won't pay. You have to have lien waivers from all the subcontractors, from us. We have to have warranties from everybody. There's just all these documents and things that you have to have ready to go at the end. Mm-hmm. And it's literally every job. So every job I get to the end, I'm like, here's your final invoice. And I'm like, cool, I'm going to get the money soon. And I'm already moved on to the next thing. They're like, hey, we need X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Dang it. So then I have to stop what I'm doing because I time blocked for I'm going to be working on this now.
Yep.
And now I'm hurting this job so I can go back to this job so I can figure out what it was that I needed, who to talk to. I'm just burning all this time. And this is every single job. So had that happened 1 to 3 times and I go, oh, I see a pattern here. Every person is going to ask for some level of a closeout package. They're all a little bit different. So, and this is what I did recently. Take the most stringent version of that that takes the most work and make that the norm. So now we have an SOP for that. We're collecting all this information as we go. Before I even send the final invoice, it's like we have all of this. It's ready to go, ready to submit. And had I documented that 8 years ago, I probably could have saved thousands of hours of payroll too.
Dude.
Yeah. Are you having issues over there still?
No, we're good. I'm listening. Like,
but yeah, the documenting part's a big deal. And then feedback I didn't ask for, but should have. I said, let's see what I got here. I also didn't ask clients enough questions. I think you guys are way ahead of me as far as where in the timeline you are with this. But let's see, I didn't ask clients enough questions after the job was done. Even happy clients will tell you how to improve if you ask.
100%.
You know, you were great, but maybe follow up after 30 days. You could improve communication here. It's basically free consulting, and I've been ignoring it for years.
It is. It's 100% free consulting.
And it helps you.
You can automate that too.
Yeah. And so not only do I ask for that now, but I guess in the last 2 or 3 years, we have Nathan. He does video testimonials. And I'm skipping ahead here, but word of mouth, especially in my trade or my business, and I think with anything really, word of mouth is by far the most powerful tool.
It's always going to be. It has the most leverage.
So if you can amplify that, that's going to be the best thing. Because, for example, let's say you ask, how did we do at the end of a job? Or whatever it is you're doing, selling, product, service, whatever. They can tell you something. You go, oh, great, I did do a good job. And you can make some notes about, oh, I'm going to do this a little better. Or, hey, this worked.
Yep.
That's one part of it. Second part of it is you can ask them the same thing through email. And you could have text. And you can say, hey, do you mind if I share this? You could put that on your website. You could say, hey, this is what so-and-so said about me. And or you could have someone go down there and take a video of it.
Yeah.
Because if you have that locked in time in a video or in an email, you don't have to keep retelling the story. No one wants to hear you tell them that you're the best. They do want to hear someone else say, these guys are great.
Yeah.
They did a good job. Here's what I think about them. And if you get it captured in either an email or a video, you don't ever have to ask anyone to do anything again. You have that, and you could keep sharing it, keep stockpiling that. And that's going to, that's a big thing I wish I would have done earlier on. I would have been significantly further.
Yeah. And I think you might be like overcomplicating it at times too. There's agencies online that are phenomenal at collecting testimonials. And I bring them up in like every episode, but one of the things I learned from Hormozy was like how to best collect testimonials. Well, one, tie it to some kind of survey where you're getting the feedback so that when they give positive feedback, your CRM immediately emails them asking for the testimonial, automated. You don't have to do it. But that way you're also not manually doing it, and you're not asking people that maybe only had like a kind of medium feeling about you.
Yeah.
But one of the things that he found, and I kind of agree with him, is like the overproduced, really high professional content that we're doing with Nathan for testimonials is amazing for your website from like a branding, but the thing that sells people is the like 60-second, 2-minute iPhone video from them in their own home, in their own office. And they're like, man, I freaking love Anthony. And with like 2 or 3 bullet points, and they end it. And they like say why they love it. And then having like 100 of those on your website. And believe it or not, I guarantee you could collect like at least 20 or 30 of those in a week.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're like 60 seconds. You can upload link.
You could tell them to record it and send it to you.
That's what it is. You ask them to record it on their end, and you just
then they're all comfortable too.
Yeah, and then another way of doing it is you just get on you email them and be like, hey, are you open to me recording a 5-minute call where I just ask you for some feedback, and maybe we'll use it in something. And they get on the call, and you literally ask them like 2 or 3 questions. Shut up, killer. And you record the call. And so many agencies online use that as their paid ads, and they put it on their website.
Smart. Same difference though. It's just you're always ahead of the tech thing. So
yeah.
What I'm saying was correct still.
Yeah, but even taking it to the next level, it's like we have these testimonials. I have like 15 of them, and so do you. You might have a little more. And they're just sitting on the website, and it's like they're not going to work for you. You know?
No, it is. It's just a different layer.
But it's like in a passive.
What was that?
It's my work stuff.
It's well, here's the thing. For me, and this is for everybody too, but it's your credibility. So what you're saying is actual outbound marketing. It'll pull people in off social media, which is great.
Yeah.
The stuff that's on the website, there's a place for that too. Because now,
100%.
let's say there's some big brand coming to look at me to find out if I am who I say I am. That's giving credibility.
Yeah.
With other people's word of mouth that's like
Yeah.
locked in time. So I think you need both. Or I think both are valuable.
Absolutely.
But for the marketing side of it, I think that
know.
definitely makes more sense and sounds better. Because polished is kind of, I don't know. I see what you mean. That makes sense.
Yeah, because people see that it's so polished, and it could be seen as like that's
Staged or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get that.
Yeah, I always have my little marketing brain on. Dude.
No, that makes sense. I like that.
I have so much things I wish I could go back and tell myself. And there's obviously like the tricks of the trade and things you learn in your craft and in your business that are very like operational or like task thing, like, oh, I wish I knew how to do this thing. But it really, if you boil it down to like the most impactful, like if you had to boil it all the way down to like a list of 10 things, a lot of them come down to mindset and psychology. And that's something my coach was always telling me about is like a business is limited to a owner's psychology, the entrepreneur's psychology, whoever's in charge. And all of your employees are limited to your psychology too. And it's like we opened up the episode talking about how January's been such a great month. And I'll tell you what, I'm in the same mud as December.
Yeah.
We have cool things happening right now. I was going to tell you before we jump off today. And we're moving the needle, but like kind of the same place. And I'm like, what's different?
Clarity.
Well, I came in, with a fresh mind and a different frame on it of like, how freaking cool is this?
Yeah.
And being appreciative and gratitude, like we talked about last episode. And just me being in the office with that high energy, ready to go attitude. The rest of my team's crushing it too. And it all starts with the owner's psychology. And I wish you like know it's important, but there's a lot of things that are important, but you don't echo them in your own mind.
Yeah.
And
I missed the mark specifically on that one.
Yeah. And it's like all year last year, from the beginning of the year to the end, my coach kept telling me that over and over. And it was almost to a point where it's like, okay, I get it. Like you've told me this every session. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I come in the office with high energy and everybody else will do it. And then proceed to have a pissy attitude, even to the point where we had podcasts about, I'm so stressed and this is going on. And it's like,
you didn't understand it yet and it wasn't relevant yet.
Yeah. And he's like, and it's like when he's telling me it makes sense. I'm like, well, yeah, of course, if I'm in a bad attitude, the team's gonna have a bad attitude. Then I proceed to have a bad attitude.
Same.
And then it's like, oh no, it's to the point where, no, you don't need to be like a liar, but it's to the point where it's like, no, you
can
need
polish.
to shut the heck up and like box your stress and stuff in and
be a leader.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Lead from the front and be like, what's up, guys? Let's go. It's a great week. And kind of swallow it.
You see how
it's very important.
Getting certain amounts of advice, they almost have to land at a specific time from a specific person, and then you need to experience, I screwed it up before you actually change the behavior.
Yeah.
But this also goes back to my earlier point where you want information from someone on the rise or from someone who's trained at coaching you for where you're at, not where you're going.
Yeah, I have a theory that like,
or where you're going to be.
If I got to be in the room with Tony Robbins right now, it'd be insane. So cool. Dude's just a mega billionaire.
Yeah, but his thing is like, how can I feed 100 million people? You're like, that's awesome, but I'm just trying to make sure
I'm trying to feed me and 2 people. Yeah, it would be great, but out of everything he gave me, even if I understood and comprehended it, I wouldn't be able to leverage it and take action on it to the 100%. And it's like, you need to hear from people like that. That's almost like saying if Jesus Christ was giving you stuff, you wouldn't be able to take it. That's a weird tangent. But you need to hear from people just so out of your league because it gives you the idea of, oh, I can get there.
It starts opening little doors.
But like the most effective channel of receiving advice is probably from people that are 10 to 15% ahead of you.
Yeah. It's got to be.
Because they're like right there.
It's reachable and believable.
And that's why the people that are like freaking mega millionaires, billionaires, that we're trying to be, when they talk about like, you're like, what's the secret? And everyone knows there's no secret, but they're like, ah, man, you got to brush your teeth backwards and spend more time with your wife. And you're like, that's going to make me $1 million.
And what's crazy too is I don't think they're lying, and it's probably accurate to you when you're 15, 20 years down the road. It's like they're boiling down a longer runway into the same amount of words that I'm currently trying to boil down a shorter runway.
Yep.
So each person's advice is great for specific people in specific.
So I have this like little theory, and there's levels to it, but people's level of success can be measured by how they articulate things. And what I mean by that is like, one, their language and how they speak to you. Yeah. More successful people use less words, but make more of an impact. And it's not because they're like wizards or they don't want to talk to you. They're just very impactful with their language because they're accurate and they can articulate.
God, I don't have that.
Neither do I. Over-explain all the time. I feel like an idiot.
I sometimes literally think about my vocabulary. I'm like,
my vocabulary
short on words, buddy.
Same. My vocab is poor. And the other thing that they can articulate incredibly well, clearly I'm not there yet because this is going to be hard for me to articulate. You just were talking about runways. How I'm looking at it is folders. So I think the higher up you get in your career or in your life, you get more and more ability to like compress information into folders. And bear with me here.
No, I got it.
You should have folders inside of folders inside of folders.
Dropbox,
so like
Google Drive.
Kind of, yeah. And your mind is cluttered with a lot of little folders. So, for example, you and I have like a work folder and then like a personal folder, right?
Yeah, and everything's in it.
But here's the thing. When you open our work folder, it goes from 1 to like 30.
Yeah.
For you, it's like you go, just perfect timing. It goes from like your one work folder immediately into like 30, maybe even 100 subfolders. So the second you switch into work mode, you're bombarded with all these thoughts because you have so many to pick from. You have like estimating, sales, invoices, banking, HR. You just have so many things.
And they're not compartmentalized. Organized. Yeah.
So my theory is like, let's say you have levels. This is my analogy to the folders. And it's like right now we're only like 2 or 3 levels deep.
Yeah.
When you get the people that are successful, if you could look in their mind, it would look like they're like 10, 20 levels deep, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And they compartmentalize because we have a lot of thoughts. And it's like opening up someone's notes app on their phone. If it's unorganized, you're kind of getting a look into their life.
It's funny you say that.
For you have your notepad, you have your sauna. It's like you're directly looking into how you organize your life if you actually document your thoughts. And if you could put a successful person's brain, even if they come off like frantic, like Elon, well, it wouldn't go work to 30. It would go work into like 3. Mm-hmm. And then of those 3, each one would maybe have like 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is like,
no, I totally get
their life's compartmentalized on so many different levels. The way they talk, the way they think of projects, the way they handle stress, and what that does for them is you can tell.
That itself manages stress.
Exactly. That's what I'm getting at is what you can tell is it helps manage their stress. It helps manage their clarity. It helps manage their communications, their effectiveness.
And prioritize.
They prioritize better. They have better trust in people that they quite don't trust. Like you can tell this when I talk to these people at the brand that we're aware of that I'm working with, this very large brand, there's a clear difference in like our language and like the way they talk to me with 10 blunt words. But when I unpack that, that's a terabyte of to-dos and tasks and information.
Yep.
And they get shit done. Like they're effective people.
Trim the fat.
And it's like, And it is, but it's almost not. It is trimming the fat, but it's like, well, they're not missing details. Like they're not undetail oriented people where they're like missing beats.
They're just effective and efficient,
organized different, you know? And it comes down to their time management. And that's a significant skill to develop. There's got to be a word for this. Basically what I'm saying is I think the closer you can get
optimize,
to being that, like having your mind organized,
the
more effective you're going to be in so many fields. And there's tools to help you do that, like literal softwares, all the way to another tool to help you do that is fitness.
Yeah.
And like being with a good partner. But there's like active things you have to do.
Yeah.
Like if you're not bookmarking your day at the end of the day and like looking back on your day and then like manually sorting all your mail.
Documenting.
Exactly. Yeah. It's going to tear you up. And I don't know. I think there's better ways of doing this. You know, there's better things we could do that like.
I'm constantly thinking that.
Yes.
That's what stresses me out because I know that's
because people that are more successful than us have the same thoughts, if not 10,000 more.
Yeah.
But why are they more effective? Is because they're I truly believe they're finding a way to organize it all.
Yeah.
And what happens then is like when they go on vacation, they leave their work folder that has 10,000 subfolders in it at home.
Right.
You know, and they're more effective in the moment.
It's that clarity.
Yeah.
And that's also one of the things that keeps me up at night is there's all these things in the back of your mind that are not clean and clear. You don't have clear objectives.
Yeah.
And all of those things clear that up.
It's like you have like your 50 folders that are on the same level. And when you're when you're inside one level, you can go like this, bing, 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 between all of them. On top of, you also have this ball of junk mail that you've never sorted yet. And it's like, we just need to find a way to build our folders.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, how do you do that? Is that like real talk
the
in
base
practice?
level,
What do you think is that? What do you think that is? Is that
while you're talking, I'm thinking about it now.
Is that like going on a little 2-day vacation and writing everything down? Like
no.
What is,
well, for me, I like working in bite-sized pieces and getting used to it. So what I would do, which I actually have kind of started doing this, so I'll give you a real example. And before I do that, I will just say, as you're saying that, I have a literal thing I can look at.
Use so many filler words.
I know.
That's how you know we're terrible at this.
Vocabulary's bad. My Dropbox 2 years ago was literally a work folder
with a million.
And in the work folder, every other folder just was the job name. But inside of the job name, it was just everything.
Yeah.
So I'd be going through scrolling. Where's the plan? Where's the plan? Where's the permit? Found it.
Dude.
But okay. Back to the other point. How would I do it? I would say work folder. Inside of work folder, I would probably do, let's say, current work.
Yeah.
Business development. What would be the third? I don't know. Let's just use those, right? Let's go marketing or sales. Mm-hmm. Even more boiled down. Sales, active or current, and business development.
Yeah.
And then inside of those, current work would be just a massive pyramid. Because now I've already figured that out. Yep. All my Drive and Dropbox and Asana are all the same. They're all matching.
Yes.
And they are.
You have to need
daily. I'm adding more files and going, oh, this makes sense. Oh, this is easier to find for them out there.
Yep. And
then telling people where to find things. So the current and active folder, that pyramid is built and it's continuing to be refined. The sales side of it, that folder is like, there's nothing in it. The business development side is started, but I would duplicate how the current folder is in those as I build it. But one thing that I've learned in the last 12 months for sure is to be effective, I have to do things in bite-sized pieces. Do it, finish it, make it the norm before moving on. Mm. And to quiet the mind with all that chaos, I have that one to-do list, which is broken up into 2 folders, and literally, actually, personal and work.
Yep.
And I can just, I've done it during the podcast. I'll go, oh shit, I just remembered this thing. And I go in there and I put a level of urgency.
Yep.
And now I know I can get it out of my mind. I can relax. And when I have free time or when I'm getting burnt out on what I'm actually doing, I'll pause, look at that, and just go to the most urgent and go, okay.
100%. Now, over time.
I love that guy.
Real talk. It's freaking hot in here.
Yay.
Real talk. There's there's folders in your mind. And it's like Chris Williamson could probably figure this out. You get him and Andrew Huberman, man, they could just make all the mental folders for you in the world. But real talk, like I feel like this is something that one day of deep thought could fix, and it's something you'd have to work on. I'm talking on a big spiritual level here. But like, if you took a blank piece of paper, you could like write the folders of your life, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but they need to work in practice too, because I've done a small level of this, and then
that's
got
what I'm saying. Like,
it's overcomplicated.
No, yeah. So that's the thing, is like it has to be.
But you
so simple.
But you have to jump, and you need to, you need a starting point. Yeah,
and like you said earlier, the like structure and naming conventions of your Asana match your Dropbox, match your this, match your that, and it's like, yeah, the folders for your thoughts need to match your schedule, need to match your priorities. You know what I mean? It's like that's a thing that you could do, and I feel like you could really break your life up into just a few large chunks.
You can,
you know.
Yeah, and this goes back to me being the messy brain. I have a really hard time with all of that. I am more of, and I'm doing all of this, and I agree with all of it. I'm just saying where I'm coming from too. I have racing thoughts constantly.
So do I.
And ideas constantly. And the lack of documenting for so long makes this harder for me now, because I kind of have to peel all those layers back to go.
How are you getting it out of your head?
The to-do list. Because I'm making little subcategories in there too.
Yeah, because you're just racing on to-dos.
No.
Well,
so like, I'm actively taking care of those too. So what I do now is anytime I find a bottleneck or a roadblock, instead of just going, oh, this sucks and I got to get through this, I make a note about it. And then later when I'm like, I'm burnt on work, but I have this energy for like the business development side, I'll work in Asana and the Dropbox and the Drive folder at night and go, oh, here's a better way of doing this. I can reduce the amount of tasks that are in the template because no one's really using them. Yeah. So I keep updating it and then letting everybody know, and then I let them get used to it first before doing anything extra or going too far. So it's like bite-sized pieces, and then doing it in real time to see if it works. Because let me tell you this: when I first wrote out, when I was about 3 or 4 months into the consulting program, I wrote out like a whole business plan. I made a ton of SOPs, and I made a company manual.
Yeah, I remember that.
I spent months on it. Didn't work. None of it worked. No one paid attention. It was too complicated. I've completely rewritten it already.
Yeah.
And what I realized is I burnt like 3.5 months doing that.
Yeah, you spent so much of your time.
So now it's like, let's go general bulk idea, and then do it in practice. It's a living document. Yep. We'll keep updating it. And that's the chaos for me. So I'm no longer sharing all of the information with everybody. I'm going to go, I think this works based on everything I know. And then I'm going to give them 1 or 2 things to work on. And if it helps improve, okay, we're locking that one in.
Yeah.
Then we'll move on to the next and just keep figuring it out as we go with a general idea overall of where it should be going.
Yeah. I think a successful leader has the ability to take a million complex ideas and refine them into like ultra generalized outputs for your team.
I don't think I'm there.
Yeah, it's a really tough thing. I'm not saying I'm there.
Yeah.
But I think that's something that's very, very successful people do.
I think trial and error is honestly the key though. I think you have to act.
Yeah, dude, you have to ready, fire, aim, because
hurry up and fail.
If you don't fail fast, you're not going to figure stuff out. God, people are so thankful for us. We're just cleaning their minds up right now.
Here's another one that kind of ties into this. So overwhelm is normal and temporary. So at the beginning, everything feels overwhelming. You're wearing all the hats. You're being told to hire people, do marketing, sell, build systems. It feels impossible. And even for the people that are literally just starting, you could even break that down even more. But let me see the other note before I do my
That needs to be like championed more.
Okay.
Like people talk about how the stress is normal, but being overwhelmed that is completely normal.
Yeah. So the reason it feels this way is because everything is new. What I didn't realize, and I'm talking to my year 1 through 3 self, what I didn't realize that efficiency compounds. What is hard in year 1 becomes easy later. What used to take days eventually takes minutes. Stress doesn't go away. Capacity grows. Here's some something important. Why did I write this? Okay. Stress doesn't disappear. I stayed stressed the whole time, but my capacity kept increasing. The work behind the stress got bigger. So when I felt like things weren't working, I was wrong. They were working. I just kept raising the bar for myself. So, for example, when I first started, and I'll go back to, I think I was like 23, started a little handyman business. And I'm like, how do I let people know I exist? I got like mom's friends and people that knew the son does the stuff and he changes toilets and he'll paint that room and whatever. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. I could do something with this because I'm good at the thing. I know how to do the thing. I know nothing about business.
Yeah.
And it was a business.
That's how every service guy starts.
So I'm like, I need people. How do I find people? So I used Craigslist back then. That was the thing back then. And then I was like away from the mic the whole time.
Unreal.
So I'm spinning my wheels going, how do I get people to know about me? Okay, Craigslist is free. I don't have any money, so I'm going to use that. And then I get this first job. Okay, I'm going way too fast here. I did a lot of tiny little things, barely ever made any money, then realized I need some level of marketing. I don't know how long it was, but I vividly remember my first biggest job, and it's still to this day the most important one to me. And I basically made nothing, but it was a $5,000 job. It was. I think I've told you about this before.
Yeah.
For a kitchen remodel, which is insane.
Yeah.
Clearly, I didn't know how to bid. I didn't know what I was doing. It was still the biggest victory of my life because I didn't even know people had $5,000.
Yeah.
I thought that was insane. With that job, I think I worked on it for like a month, and I spent somewhere around $3,500 to buy the stuff to do it. So take $1,500 and divide that by every day because that's what it took. So it's fucking nothing. However, I took that money and I thought, what could I do with this? I'll buy flyers. And then I went door to door at commercial places and residential places. I literally bought 5,000 flyers. Oddly enough, people still call me to this day on those flyers. I'm like, we don't do that anymore. Anyway, I was overwhelmed trying to figure out how to get people to know I existed. And then I start hitting walls. Nobody's calling. Nothing's working. What else can I do? And after a while, God, I'm losing my whole train of thought. My vocabulary's off. One, I wasn't documenting what was working and what didn't. Two, I started realizing like a year into it that 5,000 job, it wasn't even, I think it was maybe 3 or 4 months later, I got another biggest job, which was my second biggest one. It was a $30,000 kitchen remodel. Only this time, I knew how to bid it. I understood that people do have money, and I started to go, oh, wait, I am good at this.
Yeah.
And then I realized I wasn't overwhelmed with anything when I did that job. I bid it better because I realized what I made mistakes on before. I think it took about the same amount of time, somewhere around a month. And I think I made like 10 grand. And I think I was still 23-ish or whatever. At that point in time, I realized how overwhelmed I was the first couple of months doing it versus when I got to that $30,000 kitchen remodel. And since then, I've stayed redlined and just revved up with the stress level. It's just things become to get easier. You know who to contact. You know how to document stuff. You know how to do the work. You know how to send a bid. You know how to do everything, and you keep cramming it all into that same stress level. It just simply becomes easier and easier. And even to this day, that was what, like 15 years ago?
Yeah.
I'm stressed the exact same amount, but if you stop and look back,
you're like,
go, God, you thought a $5,000 job was good when you basically lost. I probably spent it all on gas money just getting to the damn job.
Yeah.
Versus now, just a huge revenue amount. I get more done in the same amount of time than I did back then. I'm equally stressed, but look what I've built since then. So stay stressed out. Know that everything will get easier. Don't get discouraged by it. You should look back here and there to realize your victories, because if you never stop and look, like had I not had the capacity to go 5,000 job to $30,000 job, and there was a ton in between that were not great. But if at that point I looked back and thought, man, remember how stressed out you were, and then also realizing you royally screwed up and undersold the shit out of that thing.
Yeah.
But how much I grew in that short period of time, I got the confidence from looking back going, oh, you are improving. So you may feel the same amount of stress right now, but you're cramming more into the day and you're getting more efficient, which means you have a little more room to get a little more stressed out. And growing and gaining is always going to be stressful because it's brand new every time, no matter what level you're at.
Dude, yeah. I have so many thoughts from that. One, might have to bleep this out. Have you heard of the term retard maxing?
I have not.
It's like a legit, look this up later. It's like a, this is going to sound crazy. It's a framework. It's like putting your mind in, people are saying if you are a tard, like you just do things and you don't sit and ponder.
Yeah.
And I would bet that if we just acted immediately and didn't sit and overthink, we would both be 15 years ahead.
Yeah.
10 years ahead. Like, anyway.
I agree.
So it's a funny term that's like getting very popular right now in the business world. And people are like, I just mentally switched into retard maxing for the past 90 days and I completely changed my life. Dang. Like, there's all these people on TikTok and they're just like reading their affirmation of like, you just do, don't think. Like, obviously don't shots. Like walk into fire, you know, but it's like, just do. Like, why are you, anyway. And I was just boiling everything you were saying into like one word, which is that. And then the other thing I was thinking the whole time is, you and I use the word stress a lot. And did you listen to the Tony Robbins, Alex Hormozy
I did.
pod?
Yep.
Okay, and you listened to the part where he talked about
language,
the words that you speak, like you're identifying with that.
Yeah.
That part hit me a lot. I don't know if you
no, I
resonated with it, but I resonated with it a lot. And I think something we do. So this is something I've been working on this year, is like identifying with things. And I'm like identifying with a different state, and I'm identifying with a different type of person. And like on the way to work in the morning, I'm like, no, I'm someone who's proud to be here, who built this, who's excited and filled with energy, and using like those words, you know?
Yep.
And I really resonated with that. And I think we use words like stress too much in identifying with, I'm so stressed. And it's like kind of the funny thing Mom said, where she was like, replace stressed with blessed. Still say it, but every time say that, and it comes out different. But it's like, if you have a 15-year, 100% accurate track record, resume, history book showing that your level of stress has been pegged right here the whole time, but your level of success is just a clear up and to the right chart.
Right.
At what point do you finally stop and go, oh, I'll just keep doing the things? But there's days where why can't I just go like, oh, that's part of the business. Like,
that is my precise point.
Yeah, and it's like, I think that's what I'm doing good in January right now.
Yeah.
Is I'm recognizing I'm in the same mud with the same people, same stuff.
Yep. But you know it's going to pay off. That's my point.
And it's like, you have to stop yourself. And I think as a brand new person in your business in the first year, couple of years, maybe 5 or 10 years, you have to feel it, because you have to teach yourself that it's the same level of stress, whether you have one client or 100 or 1,000.
Yep.
But it's like, at what point do you stop and look in the mirror and be like, my life's changed, my business has grown, everything has gotten better year over year, but I've felt the same level of stress the whole time. Why don't we just remove the stress? Obviously, you're gonna have some days, but why don't we just pull the stress out and just keep doing the same stuff?
Yeah, that's exactly my point. And I have something to say about switching the word stress to something else in a second.
Yeah.
But that is my point. I know that people in the beginning are going to use that language.
Yeah.
And they are stressed because of all that. But you just put a cherry on top of it. That is the whole point. At what point do you change the framing around that?
Yeah.
The moment you look back and go, look what I did. Look how far I came.
Yeah.
Even if it's just the 6-month period. Now you have the ability to eliminate using the word, or eliminate the language of it. You can call it something else, but
it's like opportunities.
Yeah. So be stressed, or insert blank word there.
Well, I think one of the things is, like, when I first started, you would help me a lot with my framing, and I'd be like, I feel like shit. I think I'm gonna quit. I think I'm gonna get a warehouse job. Blah 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 blah. And you're like, no, that's part of the process, which is a green check. I should have heard that. But the things that I needed to hear, but probably could have been worded better, that I was hearing from other people were like, oh, that's good stress. This is good for you.
Right.
Kind of a green check too. But then when they're like, you're supposed to feel like shit. It's like, well, yeah, that's part of it. But maybe there's a better way to, like, while we're here live telling whatever entrepreneurs are going to be listening to this, like, yeah, going through the mud is quite literally part of it, but also, I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's just like work on fortifying your mind, you know?
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like you can't understand that unless you've done it for all those years. I've only done it for 5. There's guys have done it for 50.
Unless somebody can get through to you, and maybe this will to some
kind
people.
of snap you out of it.
So to one of my points, I wish I would have tracked that a little sooner.
Yes, yeah.
Because if you can look back and go, here's the level of stress I was at for the first 3 months. Now I'm 3 years into it. I still feel that same level of stress, but you go, yes, but what was the outcome?
Yeah.
And then you could put together and say, my first job was for $5,000. It took me a month. I literally made negative 1,700 or whatever.
Yeah.
And then 3 years later, you're like, oh, my company did over $1 million.
Yeah.
So was it stress, or was it growing pains, or was it that's what it takes to get there?
Yeah.
And then once you realize that, I'm like, give me the stress.
Yeah.
I want to stay in a constant state of, let's call it a new word now, whatever the new word is.
Opportunity.
Because that is what produces the negative to $1 million in revenue or whatever.
I'm feeling stressed right now, and I'm being
I'm
going
to change. So I'm going to vow to make the change. I'm not going to say I'm stressed out anymore. I'm just going to say, I'm really thirsty for whiskey.
And God, it's hot in here.
It's so hot. But I guess that is framing.
Shit, man,
really
we should be popping a bot. We should maybe have a sipper.
Dude, I am in right now, for real. You want to have some of that Middleton?
I would love to. And then I'll wake up and crush my Friday tomorrow still.
Yeah. Should I get cups? You're on 75 hard, so that's different for you. For me, I could.
It's like 75 medium. I'm being very healthy.
If you still want to, in 10 minutes, I'll go get cups.
Okay, that's a good measure. All right, that's fair. Yeah, dude, I was getting stressed there. We were saying the word so much that I literally was feeling.
Me too.
You know what's weird too is like the more it happens to you, you can feel like you can feel it as if you could, like, you feel physically your meter rising for.
There's like a soul pressure. Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel it here, and I feel it all on my back.
I got this oval right here.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy? This is gonna sound funny. Have you ever heard of a program called Fast Math?
Where are you getting all these terms?
It's like a computer program called Fast Math.
Mm-mm. I used to call it a calculator.
No, so Fast Math was a computer program that when I was in elementary school, you know, we would go to the computer lab like twice a month, which you didn't even have that.
When you were in elementary school, that was the exact time
you were doing your $5,000 kitchen
that
job.
story. Yes.
Yeah. So when I was in elementary school, we'd go to the computer lab like once every other week or something. And there was a game we'd play called Fast Math, where it would put up a math equation, and you didn't have a keyboard. You literally had a mouse and a number pad, and you'd have to type in the answer to enter.
Okay.
And you're trying to answer it as fast as you can. It's
Yeah.
called Fast Math. And like they rank your scores, and it's a legit like test you have to do.
Yeah.
Anyway, in Fast Math, the way that they would incentivize the kids was like, if you did better and got better scores, your screen, like colors and theme, would change, and you could unlock really rare, cool ones if you're better. Too. So you had an incentive, and you'd compete with your classmates, and they would show like who's winning.
Incentive and competition.
And the people that were the best at Fast Math also obviously happen to have the best grades. I was competitive, and they would like have you race, like you would race and do it. And I never knew what this feeling was, but when I was in elementary school, I'd be doing the Fast Math and would get this feeling physically that bothered me a lot. Like I would feel it physically. Then fast forward.
I get that during Mario Kart.
Yeah. Listen.
I swear to God.
Yeah. Yeah, you do.
I really do.
I'd get it sometimes playing Call of Duty, all stuff. Now, this sounds terrible. Fast forward however many years. Dad dies, start the business, start doing work, and I'm getting that feeling again. And it took me a while to like I told Morgan like 2 years ago, I was like, oh my God, I've had anxiety since I was like 5. I just didn't have a label for it.
Yeah.
Because there's a difference in the anxiety feeling and the stress feeling. And it's like, it was a little bit of a mix of both. But when I finally started getting anxiety from Dad, it clicked and I was like, holy shit, that's the exact feeling I got as a kid.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's been in me this whole time. I just didn't have a word for it. Anyway, I just thought that was kind of funky, but
so many thoughts on that whole thing.
Yeah.
Anxiety, stress.
But
I think high achievers come with a baseline higher level of anxiety, which is also kind of your superpower.
Yeah.
It's like a higher level of alertness, higher drive. You have higher standards for yourself. To piggyback off of all of that and the last topic that we were just talking about, I think I've summed up, and I didn't really articulate as much as I wanted to in this, but the biggest miss of all, the biggest thing I wish I had done sooner was look back and give myself credit.
yeah.
When you stop and actually see how far you've come, it creates fuel, real fuel.
You kind of give yourself grace.
If I had believed in myself sooner, I would have moved faster and sooner. And what I mean by that is a lot of people are so worried about giving themselves credibility in the eyes of other people.
Yeah.
That's all I've ever focused on.
Yeah.
What other people and not average people. I mean, literally, specifically the people I'm trying to get business from and get money from and to build business. But the imposter syndrome side of it and not taking shots because I assume I'm not good enough or I'm not ready for that, or will they believe me or will they trust me or whatever. That's a lack of giving myself credibility.
Yeah.
It's like you have to feel confident when you go into a call or go to meet somebody. You have to stop and go, look at what I've done. Look at how far I've come. I am experienced. Had I given myself more credibility by looking back a little bit and going, oh, I learned from this. Oh, I did this. I know that was a thing I shouldn't do anymore. This is better. If you give yourself credibility, it's a lot easier to handle growth. I think you will learn what questions to ask sooner. I think you'll be more open to, seeing opportunities that exist and then feeling worthy that, oh, no, that is mine. I'm going to go get that. I am good. And I know I can learn because I've learned everything for the first time all the way up till now. Let's do it faster.
Yeah, I fully agree with that. I'm going to say something that will like kind of piss people off too. Something you and I have never ever done is like trim our circle, like the people we're with. I've never even had the thought of like not speaking with a certain kind of person anymore.
Yeah.
Removing friends, removing people in your circle, in your network, moving to a different location, shaving your head. Like there's a lot of people that make it really, really big online. And they talk about how you have to like reinvent yourself and you have to go through it like multiple times. And they're like, you're going to lose friends. You have to lose, like you're going to lose friends. You're going to have family that are upset at you. You're going to have to move. And then there's a lot of people that like start finding success and they like are boiling with these feelings we're having. And then they like move across the country or like dump their girlfriend, whatever. We've never done any of that. And I'm not saying I want to do any of that or that is the answer at all. But I think there's a lot of tools that or like events that are catalysts for growth that can slingshot you real quick. And you can't do them every day, maybe not even every year, but like every few years. And it's kind of like, it's like when women want to feel completely different, they dye their hair, cut their hair.
Yeah.
Some guys that are really fat, when they want to get fit, they shave their head because it's like forcing them into ugly and a new identity.
Yep.
And like, we've never even thought of cutting out certain family or friends because we're not those people. I'm not saying that's bad or good. But when you don't do that, there's a lot of like anchors and tethers to like old me and old you.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not saying that I'm super old and have all this history, but like that's what makes it hard with like, it's hard with your business because when you're around your network of people and all these brands and partners, even if they're not saying it, they're like pumping you up. And you're like, man, I'm like, when we went to Miami, I'm like, we are kind of, I wouldn't say the shit, but like we're here, we're doing it, and people like they respect us, and they're coming for opinions, and we're really doing it.
Giving yourself credibility.
Yeah, it's like building us up, and then you fly back home, and then you go to your family Christmas, and you sit across the table from like
the same old Jamoke telling the same old story.
And I'm not flaming anyone. I love everyone, but it's like
no, I get what you're saying.
You come back to where you started, and then it's like even though like your family's not telling you you're worthless, you're talking about like RC cars and random stuff. There's just this weird thing going on where you're like coming back to your starting point, and it's like, oh, and that's why people like out of nowhere move to Austin, Texas, and like join run clubs and like because they're like reinventing.
Sure.
And I feel like we always try to, but miss out on those big events or catalysts, if that makes sense at all.
It does. So to me, there's two parts to this. One part is eliminating, one part is adding new.
Yeah.
I have done part of part one, and this was in the past like 3 years or so. And by the way, you are going to be forced into it now because you run a business and you have a family.
And a family.
That makes it really easy. I did actively audit my circle, and I quite literally don't do anything anymore because of that. So I did start doing this, and I did think about this. Like, really think about this for a second. When is the last time you heard about me going out with a friend?
Yeah, no, never. But I think went off again.
So
I'll get it. You go.
I understood and recognized when people say you are as good as your friend group or hang around people you want to be like. I understood that not too long ago. Well, pretty, I don't know, 3 to 5 years ago. And I'm like, you know what? That makes sense because if you are the best person in the room constantly, where is your motivation and drive going to come from? Yeah. Because you're the best. You're the best in the room. A lot of people, and I wasn't doing this intentionally. A lot of people do this intentionally. I know somebody real close to me that surrounds themselves with basically losers, so they're just always the VIP. I never intentionally did that, but I definitely stopped and realized for a moment, I am the best guy in the room. Yeah, I need better friends. So eliminating people that drag you down or have bad habits, step one, I've definitely done that.
But I think what you're about to say is you have to be doing step two.
I've lacked step two.
Yes.
And putting yourself out there, actually meeting people, actually trying to be around the people you want to be like. That part I haven't done. That part is weird. I've actively avoided it, honestly. Dude, you don't realize the importance of like, these guys said you should go golfing with them. I'm like, I don't know. I'm going to have some weird, awkward thing.
Exact same here. And there's so much power and good things that come from that. One of the things when we went to Miami...
Actually, I don't know.
One of the things when we went to Miami is I got to meet my two direct competitors that are significantly bigger.
You had a bunch of ideas about them and you were wrong.
I did have a bunch of ideas and I was very wrong. And then also it reaffirmed every single feeling I've ever had about my own business and being frustrated. I talked to both of them for like an hour and a half. It was like at the end of one of the nights we were just hanging out in the lobby, and it was like...
You bonded a little bit?
Well, a lot of it, because it was like, oh my God, you just said everything I've ever done, and then the stuff I haven't even gone through yet. Yeah. And I was like, there are people going through the exact mud that I've gone through. This is crazy. And it just like gave me so much hope, and just a simple conversation about just all kinds of experiences and fun stuff. And there's a lot of non-work stuff in there too. And we were just like, just being boys. Yeah. But I got to learn so much about them, and I don't know how much I gave to them. Probably not a lot, because when you're like talking down,
you gave them the ability to vent in their lane, which does have value.
Which I just did that last night with Nathan Palmer. Yeah. And I felt really good, and I was really happy.
It also lets you realize again
how far I've come.
I've come a long way, and I know I do know quite a bit.
Yeah, and literally just that conversation, it was like on the night of day two. The very next morning I woke up and was like, so many more ideas and perspective. Yeah. And that was one of the biggest things coming into January. One of the guys I talked to, his agency, based on what he said, and I believe him, was doing like, they're between $6-7 million. Yeah. That's a lot. When like the average ticket for a client is only $600 a month.
Yeah, that's huge.
That's a lot. And the margins are a lot different in our world,
totally.
you know?
Yeah,
so
for
like,
me, I can say big revenue numbers. It's
yeah.
like, well, yeah, it's huge projects.
So and I was like, wow. And he was telling me about all the things he's done. Anyway, just getting to learn from him, I immediately, that night, the next morning, and then this whole month, just an hour conversation unlocked like 6 to 12 months of like appreciation and ideas and systems and all this stuff. And it's like, man, there's so many people out there that you can network with. It's just hard because like I don't want to go sit at Olive Garden with you or like go to these cheesy events. But it is important to like when you recognize a connection,
this
leverage
is all
it.
us assuming though, right? So I have my own personal thoughts about this, which is I've had moments like that too where I'm like, oh, that didn't go anything like I assumed it was going to go. I have ideas and there was value to this. Another thing, this is for me specifically. I don't know if it applies to you or anybody else, but I've always steered clear of people that are my competitors.
Me
for
too.
A couple
so
of reasons.
It was a weird, like, I didn't even talk to them the first day much. It was just like, oh, hey, I'm Tristan. And then one of the days there was like nothing going on in the room. Yeah. And everyone was packing up to leave to go to dinner. And they were standing there. And I was like, they already knew each other. They've been competing for over 10 years. So I am brand new to them both. And I walked up and was like, hey, I'm Tristan. I own Fifth Element. I've known about you guys for a while. I just wanted to introduce myself, say hi, and like I'll be on my way. And then ended up standing there legit for an hour and a half and talked about like every topic in the world.
Yeah,
like
so
everything.
So you got value out of it.
Tons of value.
My point for me, and probably maybe for you too, is the reason why I always steered clear of them is I had this idea that I don't want them dipping their fingers into my cookie jar, right?
Exactly.
But framework. There is so much work. There is enough to go around.
This is one of the things that
and
one
I
of the
had to
guys
fix
said.
that.
One of the guys, when I walked up to, he was like, so one of them is in their 40s and the other one's late 30s. And they were like, I get this every time I go to things like they're like, you're 23. And I was like, yeah. And
Can you believe we started this podcast when I was in my 30s?
Yeah, because I wasn't even in Boise yet when we started.
No, I know, but quite literally.
Oh, yeah.
Even in this room, I wasn't 40
that's
yet.
yucky. One of the things the guy said was like, he like tapped me on the shoulder and he was like, buddy, there is so much abundance here. And he was like, I don't care who you talk to, what you do. And he was like, I'm telling you, there is so much abundance. And it's like, that's I think PBD kind of talked about this, but I'm going to say it in different words. Like, you can't be in that like
it's a petty mindset,
anti-abundance mindset. Like there's plenty of work to go around. There's a billion contractors 100%. In the world. And he was like, and he showed, and it was also a pure example where it's like, anyway, there's just so much abundance. And he was like, just getting to hear him say that and talk. I was like, yeah, what are we doing? Why do we not help each other? And then we like traded phone numbers and he helped me with something already this month. And I was really appreciative of, and then we did another story, another time, but that big call I told you about I had this week that I got a little humbled on. Yeah. That was a little rough. But another one of the competitors, he's not the owner. He's a sales guy and just really high up in the agency. Closer to my age, I met him there. And he immediately was like, dude, let me get your phone number. And like, he'll text me like every couple weeks and just like check in. And at first he texted me and it was nothing but like, Merry Christmas, dude. I hope you had a great end of the year.
He's playing the long
game.
And
that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, what is this guy gonna butter me up?
Butter me up?
Yeah.
Take my shit.
And then the other half of me is like, oh, maybe he's like playing nice because maybe he's gonna jump ship one day. And then at the end of the day, it's like, or he's just a smart dude and building his network and he's just kind.
Why can't it be both? And as long as you're aware.
Yeah, and it's like, and we help each other, and like we even stayed on for 1 second or talked at the end of that big call. And I was like, hey, do you mind if I ask you a question? And I was like, totally get it. Tell me to F off. And I was like, it was a technical thing. I was like, how do you do this with your budget and your campaigns, whatever? And he's like, oh, no, I don't mind. And he shared. And I was like, interesting. And then I shared like it was like give and take. Yeah. And it was totally cool. And I was like, huh. So anyway, it's important. We got to, dude, side note, one of my micro sub bullet points for this year, so not a big priority, but something if I could make it to, I really thought that we should play golf a lot more this year and try to play once to twice a month at least.
Yeah, I would love to. You know, I had
We need to get
membership.
good at it.
I've had a membership at TCI
Yeah.
for 3 years in a row. I only went the first year. I stopped paying for it because the last 2 years I didn't even go once.
Well, I think we need to get better.
But I agree.
At like scheduling
To be
it.
good enough to actually go golf
Yes.
with some real business people and
Yes.
not suck.
And it doesn't need to be like a freaking drinking big thing every time. It is fun. It is fun. But it's like, it should just be like, we're golfing because we suck. We want to get better. Or just at least hit the driving range.
I think
dude.
both. I
suck.
think the rule for golf should be the first 9 are sober, the second 9 are fun.
It sure is.
Because here's the
fun.
thing: if you are going to go on a business golfing trip where you're going to shoot the shit and make
don't wanna
connections,
suck.
you also need to practice when you're drunk. Because if you get
Yep.
good when you're sober, you won't be when
Yeah.
you're drunk, and you're going to drink with those people.
Yeah.
I used to be pretty good at pool, like when I was, I don't know, 18 to like 21. Mm-hmm. Actually, geez, it was even before that. Anyway, I was really good only when I was drunk because we used to go to my buddy's house. His parents had a pool table in the
Playing
garage.
loose.
And the parents were a little loose. They didn't care if the kids drank. So we'd get hammered and play, and then I'd get sober and be like, dude, what? I can't play.
That's funny.
So I think you got to practice both.
I suck at pool, and Morgan's Chuck and Arena always had a pool table for a long time.
I haven't played in probably
And I would always
20
try to
years,
play
I don't even
Morgan because I'm like, dude, I'll beat you in anything athletic. She just whoops my ass in
Here's the
pool
thing.
every time.
Here's the thing.
It's finesse.
I don't like when your lady beats you at stuff. I don't like it one bit.
Yeah.
You know, me and Melissa's first
You know what they should be beating you in?
bed?
Washing dishes.
Oh.
folding clothes. I'm just kidding.
Dude,
Bed.
When me and Melissa did our first like official date, I was broke. I think I literally had like $168 to my name at the time. She didn't know that, so I planned like a full day.
You're like, let's go to the fair and walk the pond.
Dude, I did Mulligan's batting,
That's funny.
the batting cages, Chipotle, and the movie theater. And she didn't know that you could put Mentos in a Pepsi. So we
Dude.
did the end of it was,
That's like the four.
let me show you how to explode. Yeah, the whole day was like in my budget. Anyway, when we did the batting cages, she whooped my ass, and it to this day drives me nuts.
That's funny.
But here's the thing. Whatever they're good at, you can get better a lot faster.
Yeah.
So if you want to, you can.
Yeah. Morgan used to like, dude, case in point, I just slaughter
Melissa's
on Mario
good
Kart
at-
right now. And Morgan used to beat me up in Mario
Yeah.
Kart
Yeah.
when we first started playing.
It's also because we're idiots and we're obsessive and like, you beat me, I want to beat you. And really, it's like, who
Yeah.
gives a shit? Like, I never played baseball. She played softball. She whooped my ass.
Brian and I were
But,
playing.
ooh, I felt sheepish.
Brian and I were playing Mario Kart in Big Bear, and like everyone was sitting on the couch like 15 feet from the TV, and we had 2 lawn chairs right in front of the TV. And they're like, "You guys really competing?" And we're like, "No."
Yes.
We're like, yeah, we're going hard as hell. I was trying to whip them up.
Oh, it chaps my hiney when I go
Yeah.
on there and look at like my score. It's our score. And
I'm
like
barely like 10
67 to,
ahead of you.
I know, but I'm like, ooh,
Yeah.
it's fun though.
Cadence was playing, and I was like, no remorse, I'm gonna win. I was like, I'm not going easy.
Oh no, yeah, I do that
Yeah.
to the kids too.
It's funny.
That's dangerous. So we got it for Christmas, obviously, and it's only been we're not even. At a
I'm
month.
surprised that we're still playing.
We're not really. Immediately after
Yeah.
New Year's, I was like, oh, I see how people
Yeah,
get
yeah.
into video games.
100%.
I had to put it away.
I
for
do
a
think it's
little
good
bit.
for us to like do a race like every couple weeks.
No,
though.
I would appreciate doing it at least once a week.
Yeah, like a weekly race. Because what we did was perfect.
Yeah.
It was literally one Grand Prix. Took one race is only 90.
Honestly,
it's only
what I
2
would-
minutes. Did you know that?
Oh no, I
Feels
didn't know
like
that.
a long time. It's really only about 2 to 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So one Grand Prix really only you could bust it out in like 10, 15.
I would like to do
If I could get like 2
a
3
marathon,
Grand Prix,
so less frequency but longer. Like
Yeah.
like if we can somehow
Like we're
schedule
doing
like, hey,
10
we're gonna do a Saturday night from midnight to 3 a.m. I like
Ooh,
that.
I love that, dude.
Because everybody's in bed.
So fun.
Melissa gets mad at that too because we're just laughing and being a jackass
You know
the whole
what's-
time.
Morgan always this peeves me, but I also think it's hilarious. I could like play games all night, work all night, do whatever. She doesn't care. But God forbid I stay up sending voice notes that are funny to people. She gets so mad every time.
Yeah, I don't get shit on because I'm up having fun and laughing. I get shit on because I'm right next to the bedroom wall and I'm being a loud idiot.
I'm always going like this. I'm like, I don't even know where my phone went, but like I'll hold the button and I'll like say something funny. I'll be like, God, it's hot in here. And then I'll realize it didn't record and I'll be like, oh. God, it's hot in here. And then it's like cut off again. And I'm like, oh, dang it.
Yeah.
God, it's. And Morgan's like, can you stop? Dude, I was.
Shut up, idiot.
The one I sent you where I opened the garage door. So it went.
Yeah, I heard that.
I did that 3 times.
Oh my
Because I kept messing it up. And she was like, can you stop? The baby's asleep.
That's hilarious.
And I was like,
I'll do you one better.
Production quality, those are pretty good.
I'll do you one better. I'd say the first 50% of the ones I was sending you, I was in the gym.
Oh no, I could clearly
standing
tell.
with people
Cause you're
doing it, and I had to redo a few of them too. And I was like, I don't even care if these people see me.
your first couple ones were clear as day. You were like, God, it's hot in here, and then out of nowhere, your audio was like, God, it's hot in here. Yeah. So all your things are coming through.
Because I put the Beats on. The Beats have a trash microphone.
Yeah, dude. Jordan's really got to. It's not Jordan. It's Dre. Dre's really got to figure that out.
Mine are old, though. It's before... Well, no. Didn't...
Dr. Dre.
No, it was Dre, and then Apple bought him, right?
Yeah, but he's his ears got to be in them still.
They sound excellent.
They sound killer. They have power.
Yeah.
Whereas, like...
It's got real bass.
My AirPod Maxes, I will...
They suck. They suck for music.
They are the best for work.
Oh, no. I'm
best
sorry.
for airplanes.
I was thinking about the actual pods.
Oh, no, yeah.
Those are trash for music. Over the ear pads, those
killer.
Kill.
Workouts, got to go Beats. If you're working out,
you
got to go Beats because the...
Thicker sound.
The bass is,
Yeah.
It's like
But
thick.
the noise cancellation on the AirPods, the big ones over ear.
Insane.
Insane.
Dude, they're the best.
That has eliminated so much stress, by the way. Sometimes I'm realizing I might have a little tism. Mm-hmm. If I'm coming off of like work issues and stress and I get home, I really try not to share any of that with anybody.
Stim, yeah.
So like I don't go home and rant about anything ever. I'm like, that's my job. I eat that. So when I'm there, I don't want to share it. But that kind of gives me this, I'm like partially overstimulated already. Yeah. So I'm less capable of taking all the home chaos or the fighting and the kids and the yelling and the whatever. So I started I would sit on the couch. I'd put this on. So I'm there. I'm present. I put those on and cancel all the noise. And I'm just smiling.
Dude, they work so good.
It helps me a lot.
Andy, Andy Elliott?
Yeah. Are you a fan?
Some of stuff, yeah. Not like every single thing, but one of the things he said that I really thought was wise was some people think it's like, okay, you should be sharing everything with your partner or whatever. You should definitely come home and like talk about your day, all that stuff. But he had this point for his really old videos, perspective, where he was like, bro, the reason your wife hates that you work all the time is because every time you're not working, you're talking about how stressed you are because of work. Yeah. Because of either how much work you have or because this guy's an asshole, you have to do this.
Yeah.
And he's like, every time you come home, she's only hearing the negative.
Yeah.
So he's like, shut up, come home and don't talk about it, or come home and just say the highlights.
Yeah.
He's like, that's why, because that's the cycle I got into. I like accidentally got into the I was like, dude, why don't you just let me work? Like, why are you so upset? And then I realized I was like, oh, duh. Because every time I'm talking about it, it's in negative tense. And that's why people hate hearing about it.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, duh. So it's like, yeah, you should.
I've always been good at not doing that.
You got to
for a selfish reason almost though. I personally don't want to relive whatever stress I had that day, so I don't.
I think you just got to have a filter because if something like catastrophic happened or whatever, you should share with your wife. But if it's like just all the normal stress level stuff, it's like part of being a man or a provider, man or a woman, is like on your way home.
Yep.
Or if you work from home, is taking 15, 20 minutes and realizing I'm now a dad and a husband.
Yep.
And
this is a 2-part thing too, and I'll tell you where I fail.
You got to switch in
with this is. So I've always never shared any of the negative or the pressure, and there's been immense amounts of that. And I feel like I'm doing my duty as a husband and leader and
there's definitely a balance
to not share any of it. But I'm also less of a good leader, father,
Yeah.
husband, all of that too, because I'm just shut off. So I'm thinking I'm doing everybody a service by not giving them that, which is partially true, but I should also still be
It's like you should
a
be
good
like
dad, a good
microdosing
husband.
them with
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which also
yeah,
will help
works hard.
you train yourself to be like, I'm switching hats. There's a bunch of positive
Yeah.
stuff here. And then I'll go even deeper. Subcategory of the part 2 is let them share about their day. Because
Yes.
I don't give a fuck about sharing my day or the negative. I don't need to offload my chest to anybody. If anything, you can do me a favor by not wanting me to tell you about the bad stuff because I don't want to talk about it again. Usually the female does, and I fall short of that too. Like, I don't want to hear about your job. You're not hearing about my job, you know?
Yeah.
Which is such a mean thing to do.
It is. I think that's a thing that
And
a lot of guys will go
I
through.
have a problem with that too.
Yeah.
Because it's like, what else do you talk about then? You're like, I'm not sharing my day with you, and I also don't want to hear about your day.
Yeah.
So that's not good either.
Yeah. Dude, and so much of
I'm really trying to work on that stuff too. Like I have that personal operating plan with a lot of little things that I know
100%.
I'm terrible at, then I'm really trying. I read it every morning,
Dude, you should
and
read.
I've been doing a checklist every Friday to score myself and be like, oh, you're still doing that. Fix
Yeah.
that.
You should read Nick Bear. Remember Nick Bear,
Yeah.
the hybrid guy athlete?
Yep.
He owns BPN supplements. Or wait.
Didn't he do
wait, is it
the
BPN? Bear Performance Training.
the Habits book, or am I thinking of a wrong guy?
He just wrote a book that it's a man, I don't know what it's called. I have the book. I'll give it to you or tell you to order it.
I was thinking of Atomic Habits, but that's a different guy.
That's James Clear.
Yeah.
But Nick Bear is phenomenal. And like, I read his book a few months after June was born. And the book is it's just the ultimate book of being, like having accountability as a man, because the book isn't just about fitness. We obviously know he's a huge fitness guy, but it is not just about fitness. It's about fitness, it's about family, and it's equally about entrepreneurship, because he has a very successful business. He's a very successful athlete, and he also talks about being a father and a husband, which are like two different things.
Yeah.
You know? And
Sure is.
it's such a powerful book, and ever since I read that, I have a different perspective on like being a leader at work means nothing or has zero anything to do with being a leader in your home.
Correct. Yep.
Like, we have she'll be 9 months old, and like, even though I can't like talk to her, we talked about this a long time ago in a different episode. Like, when your kids grow up, they at some age they get the ability to like look back and like kind of discover who you were, even if you don't think they can. They really can. Because like, I'm in that right now with Dad, and I think it's when you're in your like 20s. I think it's at whatever age you start getting responsibilities, like a mortgage and a kid. Because then
do
you
it for the
start,
rest of your life.
because then you're like, oh, that's, and anyway, you get to look back. So I'm like, yeah, being a leader at home is so important, and it's active. It's like, the more June's getting older, and whatever, just the more time's proceeding, I'm realizing like these great parents out there don't get off work and then just like shut it down. It's like, no, you're just like getting in. You're just in your other job. Like, you're putting your other hat on.
hats.
Yeah, like you're coming home, and whether that's doing dishes or spending time or having conversations or like, whether it's chores or dinner. Not that it's chores, but you get what I'm saying. Where it's like, I don't know. I'm just realizing,
being
like,
a good father and a good husband is a job in a sense that like you have to work on it. And
and just being a leader at home takes, like, if you have an overall energy level. I used to think coming home meant like, oh, I'm done depleting energy. This is like chill. Maybe I got a couple of things to do. It's like, no, it's going to continue to take from that energy. You need to build up enough energy.
This is where problems can.
This is where the problems start, where it's like, all you do
I just worked all day.
Yeah.
And then it's like, so did they.
And all you did was come home, and now you're just sleeping on the couch.
Yeah.
And it's like, you gotta build your gas tank, dude. So I have such a great, I'm not being homo here, but I have such a great appreciation when you see a guy that's like wealthy and an entrepreneur that grinded out, great family, nice house, nice things, jacked, everything's organized. It's like,
it's impressive.
That is extremely impressive.
Yeah.
Because just having a great, we could arguably build great businesses, but we're not jacked.
Oh no! Out of all those categories,
like,
the only best one is business, and I don't even think that's like nothing
It's like
to write home about.
it's like when their kids are all great kids and organized.
Not jacked.
Their
Not
wife-
not the best. Definitely not the best husband. Definitely not the
Yeah,
best dad.
it's like you see a guy that rolls up. It's like nice truck. His garage is organized.
Also,
wife looks
differentiating the
Like
father from husband is one I struggle with too. Because if
Dude,
you go
yeah.
home and you're like, maybe you're helping with the kids or you're being nice to the kids, and it's like, oh, my duty's done. It's like, it's very easy to forget that your wife is another human being.
yeah.
You have a whole nother business deal and relationship and connection
Then you made like
with them, and they
made a deal to serve, and you're not. You
Yeah,
can't just serve
and
down.
being
It's
nice
like you have
to
to
them
serve in
and-
all ways.
Yes.
Tony, I don't know. You have to be giving in all directions. It's like you should be giving to your kids. You should be giving to your wife.
God, I'm
giving
not
to-
good at all those.
I know it's hard. It's really hard.
It's hard to be good at all of them. Yeah, it really
It's hard, but
And it's easy to forget, like, and I do this sometimes, and I make myself feel bad. I'm like, oh, my wife is also a girl. She's just a girl too.
yeah,
Not just like you're a woman and
Yeah.
you can handle stuff. So
Yeah.
you're like, you're an adult. You can handle big boy stuff like I can because we're practically the same age. But it's like, no, they're also a human being, just a
Yeah.
girl with girl feelings, and I know nothing about those.
Nothing.
And I don't think about them sometimes, and I say certain
Yeah.
things or go like, why are you overreacting? Why can't you be logical? And
Yeah.
then you go, oh, idiot. They're
Have you ever had an employee that like got off on a bad start, and because they got
No.
off on a bad start, you didn't really work on like developing them, and
Yeah.
and you didn't give them the extra opportunities and tasks. You're
I
like,
would say everybody up until
you're
now.
like they do their 8, but like then when
Yes.
the midnight stuff happens, you don't call them.
Yep.
Not because they're not good. It's just because your just perception's a little off, and then out of nowhere, you give them the extra thing because you're forced to or by accident, and they do something great, and you're like, oh. Or you like talk to them and have a good, and you're like,
So if you
invest,
water it,
like what? Yeah, that's what I'm saying is like out of nowhere you like accidentally invest into them, and you're like,
Yeah.
wait, you do good stuff around here. What am I doing? I should have been watering you this whole time.
Yep.
And then you like out of nowhere get your wife flowers, take her on a date, and you're like, huh? You're so nice.
I'm gonna add to that
And
because
yeah, what I'm
part of-
saying is like you forget to like water the shit that matters most.
This is high on my priority list because this is something I fail in all the time at home.
It's like you're back to back with them, looking at the outside world the whole time, and it's like you
Yeah.
forget every once in a while. You
you
turn
also
around and hug them.
Also, for me specifically, have to eliminate the expectation and the timing of it too.
Yeah, you
Because
got to give each other grace.
I'm noticing a pattern with me too, where I will go, I know that if I did this, she would appreciate that more. So work that into my logical schedule, and it's on my
Yeah.
checklist. Do this one nice thing, say this one nice thing. It has to be this frequent, whatever, because this is me attempting to make this better.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go like 5 days into it, like, fuck, not working.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, okay, allow some time for them to
Yeah.
recognize the pattern and let a month or 2 or 3 build up and be like, I've noticed the shift.
Yep.
You know, so the expectation has to be,
Yeah.
you should have no expectation. So yeah, I agree.
I started. It's probably been like 2 months.
God, it's hot in here.
Probably 2 months where I'm like, damn it, dude, I really want that glass of whiskey, but we should wrap it soon.
I knew when it was 10 minutes and you didn't
Yeah.
say anything, so I moved on. Stay hard.
Staying hard. Yeah, that would have led to burritos on the way home.
Unfortunately, yeah.
So we're staying hard. I like started doing more stuff in the kitchen, like like I was doing. I was like, I built this little routine where like every night I like empty the dishwasher. It takes like 10 seconds. People online are like, "You're pathetic."
Yeah, but
It's like little stuff. Like I would help do the dishes. Like I was helping do the dishes way more often, just for the past couple months.
you're a cook.
Yep.
I'm just kidding.
And then
I draw a hard line at socks and or laundry and dishes.
Well, so what it's worked out to is like, I don't do the dishes, but I
Yep.
do unload the dishwasher because that's easy.
Yeah, all the women right now say you are not allowed to claim you're doing the dishes if you're just putting them away.
Yeah, the amount of times I did the dishes wasn't too many, but I have been unloading the dishwasher, which is marginal, but she's very appreciative of it.
That's good.
And then the other thing I do, this is funny too. When we make dinner, whoever makes it, I always put the food away.
You
I
also make
don't.
dinner.
Here and there, but I don't I don't do the dishes.
Melissa's such a good cook. I never make food.
I know.
I used to cook more at the other house because I loved the backyard and the barbecue situation.
Okay, when I cook, though, it's like I made a pound of ground beef and a sweet potato. That's what I'm talking
Oh,
about.
you mean you cooked for yourself?
Yeah.
This is different.
Yeah. And I'll use like 17 pans for like 2 eggs.
It's like this one's the sear the
Pan,
garlic pan. This one's for heating up my hand warmers.
Yeah.
This is my mac and cheese bowl. Yeah. That's funny. Do you want to plan to do a episode where we're allowed to have drinks so that it's
I would love to, yeah.
Not a derailment of...
Yeah.
Because I got to go destroy my legs today, which is...
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, I'm going to go home and do my steps. I'm going to get my steps in. And
I
then
already
got
did
some
my
work to do,
cardio
too.
and my cold plunge.
And I got a big day tomorrow. I got 6 pitch calls tomorrow. So I got to be
I can't believe it's already Thursday night, which means tomorrow's Friday and playoffs, baby. Isn't there a? Am I tripping?
There's a UFC fight.
Yeah,
a great
the
UFC
first free Paramount one.
A great UFC fight this Saturday, and guess when the next what would have been a pay-per-view is? The next Saturday,
dude.
So they're doing back to back.
They're coming out of the gate hot.
They're doing
it's
two
Gaethje
back-to-back.
and Patty, isn't it? This weekend,
Dude. Yeah, and Sugar Sean.
Same card.
Same card. They made him a co-main. Pretty crazy.
Wow. Who do you got for Gaethje Patty?
And Patty? Dude. I don't even know. I'm going to go with, this might shock you here.
I don't think it will.
I think if you're writing a story in like a movie and a book, Patty wins.
I think so too.
I think on paper,
prior,
like analytical mind would go Gaethje, but after Patty's last thing, I'm
I
like,
was just gonna say,
dude, he was like, when Oliveira started, like marginally dominating people, and it was like, you weren't supposed to win that fight, and he was like not supposed to win like 6 fights, and it was like, wait, hold on, this guy's like top 3,
yeah,
but we thought he was like, just a guy coming up, and it's like
that's how the evolution of being great.
You're out of nowhere, you're doubting him,
point.
and then you're like, I don't know, and then Connor just sleeps Aldo, and it's like, oh,
yeah.
And I think Patty is. I think Gaethje is on his way out.
He's definitely on his way out,
and Patty is coming into his.
I think I would go 55% Patty.
That's 45. Where I
am. And because what we know about Gaethje is he knocks people out. We also know he can get hit real hard and keep going. But I think Patty is more well equipped. He seems more loose and limber, and
he's on his
rise.
He's coming up. He just had 2 kids. He's had 2 young kids, and it's like he's on his roller coaster going
like
up
the
right
last
now.
3 fights were like, nah, he's not. There's no way. And then he
did it every time.
Not only did he do it, he like dominated.
Who was the last one that was
Chandler?
Dude, yeah. Handled Chandler.
Absolutely.
Handled Chandler.
Handled him,
which is crazy because that's like throwing a cinder block in a washing machine. You ever seen those videos?
Yeah.
And it's like, wait, it worked this time? How'd you even do that?
Yeah. Yep.
That one's crazy. I'm so excited. And I also feel really sad for Sean O'Malley because he even made a video.
About what?
He made a video where he was like, damn. Or he was on a podcast and he's like,
oh, because he's co-main?
He's like, yeah, I really he's like, I'm falling off, man. I could feel it. He was like, he was co-main on a women's card, and he's like,
wait, last time he was co-main on a?
No, he got scheduled to be co-main
on this one coming up Saturday.
Not the Gaethje. I think it was the following because the following was supposed to be main event.
Hey man, you lost the belt and then
lost again
to the same guy.
Yeah, and yeah, so he's just feeling it. But it was Kaylee, who's the
buff one.
Yeah, what is her last name? I'm talking about.
Gosh, I know you're talking
blonde.
About. I don't remember.
It was supposed to be her and someone else, and Kaylee got injured, and it just got canceled last second. But he's
still co-main though.
He's still co-main though.
Who's the main?
Let me see. Let me look it up.
Oh boy, that should incentivize him and get fired back up. Hopefully.
Yeah.
He's great.
Yeah. So this weekend is Sean O'Malley.
Okay,
he's the co-main behind Justin Gaethje and Patty Pimblett.
Okay, how's that bad?
I know. And then before him is a heavyweight with Derek Lewis. My balls was hot.
I like Derek.
Dude, what? Rose, I don't know how to say her last name, was supposed to fight.
Good gentleman.
And Amanda Nunes was supposed to fight.
Yeah.
Oh, it was Amanda Nunes and Kayla Harrison. That's her name.
Oh, that's another total valid. You of course,
Massive
you're co-main.
fight.
She's the frigging goat of females.
Yeah,
Like,
and it got canceled, and it looks like they tried to replace it with Rose and Alexa Grasso. I don't know if I'm saying her name right, but I know who she is.
also, they don't.
Oh, no, Rose is still fighting. Now she's fighting someone else.
Interesting. Well, they'll be good.
Yeah.
I would not be upset if I was
Next week,
co-main
dude?
dead. What?
I'm just going to read the top 2 fights. Ready?
Yep.
Volkanovski and Diego Lopez.
Oh, I saw that one. Yeah.
And guess who's their co-main?
Who?
Dan Hooker. And I always say his name wrong. It's like Benoit Saint Denis.
Oh.
I don't know how to say his name. But that's another
Benoit Saint Denis.
Yeah, monster,
Wow.
dude. And then Tai Tuivasa
He's
fighting
the
on
guy
that card. The guy
that-
with the shoeies.
Yeah, the Saint Denis or whatever his name is. He's the guy that Dustin Poirier had to fight, and everyone was like, "Oh, poor Dustin, he's on his way out because this guy is a knockout artist," and he starched him. Remember? Mm-hmm. That was one
Dustin's
of the best.
a freaking thug.
That was
dude.
one of my favorite knockouts ever. Watching him do that.
Oliveira. Oh, that's a different Oliveira. Never mind. Let's see. I freaking love UFC though.
Anyway, me too. I think we're getting into the weeds.
This
here
is one of
for the
those
pod.
episodes where if we kept going, the whiskey comes out, then we DoorDash, then we go to Bottega after, and we go Bahamas.
Yes, keep talking.
Yeah. God, I
All right,
I want to schedule one of those in. It's got to be like a sun. It's so hard on the weekends, dude.
we could just do an additional Friday one and
Maybe
I
a
don't know,
Friday night, and
Yeah.
I think it has to be a Friday,
where we take the women
5
out
p.m.
to
and
dinner
after we meet at dinner. Yeah.
so they're not mad.
Yeah.
I see.
Because they control
Also,
everything.
because we're talking about being proper businessmen and sharing and consistency and documenting and all of that stuff, we need to follow our plan. We have 23 minutes to edit and post.
Thank you for watching this episode of BMP. I think this is a really quality episode, in my opinion.
I honestly would really appreciate some feedback because sometimes, and I'm not even saying that for the clickbaity, like subscribe, all that. Like, obviously, we want you to do that. But was it helpful? Did we make sense? Is our vocabulary... I can't even say that
I know,
word.
dude. You're babbling.
Is the vocabulary good enough? Are we articulating good enough? Is the info helpful?
Yep.
This one, I think I put a little more prep into than I have anything else.
Yeah.
But I also feel like I
we're doing a
delivered
better
it
job.
shittier than... No, I feel like I did worse now, even with all that prep.
Well, I think you are prepping too many.
I think so, too. I'm trying to find the rhythm on, like...
I'll say I do it good at all.
how the bullet points need to read. Because here's the
Yeah.
thing: if it doesn't read the way that I remember it, I'm going to forget the actual real life story behind it.
Yeah.
And without that, what's the point of sharing? Because you have to give real things, whatever. Just
Well, if
comment.
you're just taking one session to prep too, that's not even enough. It should realistically, if we're gonna take this how we want to do it and actually blow us up, it's we should be doing
No, I spent a long time on this.
prep should be
I ranted a lot and
multiple
boiled it
days
down.
with, sleeping on it, and
Yeah.
we just got
Also, developing this skill. I'm not going to be hard on myself. Talking and prepping something to talk about it is a weird thing because normally if you're in conversation and you say something's real good or there's a banger piece of advice, it's coming from someone asking me something and me just getting into it real time and live.
Yeah.
So when I'm doing all of this, I'm fired up about it, but it's a different time. I'm in a different state of mind. I had a whole busy work day. So
real talk, future vision for BMP. We blow BMP up. We're gonna come back to this. Mark my words. We're gonna blow BMP up, be successful, and that doesn't mean we have to have 10 million, subs, whatever. Blow this up to where we have a legit audience and network. Then start. I don't know what the word is for this. I'm gonna call it like a production group or a media group, where we have our own kind of like your mom's house. Your mom's house
right.
is a
Yeah.
collection of. And you start helping other younger or newer ones grow. And in return, it's helping your whole thing grow. There's this other one called Tiny Meat Gang. It sounds funny. But they have extremely popular podcasts. A lot of people listen to them.
I am very interested in the satire side of things too.
Barstool Sports, same thing.
Yeah.
Same premise. And we will do that with Brothers McGowan Podcast, where we'll find other like-minded guys that smell like sausage or women.
Thick folks trying to lose weight until they die.
Yeah, and build this into a network
Yeah.
conglomerate because we're like that and we get
LF go. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
We should literally have a business plan for this. We should
Yeah.
go over it here, keep ourselves accountable, and
We need to start pulling. Yes.
and let people be like, no, you won't.
Yeah.
You won't lose the weight. You know what sucks?
Watch me.
It doesn't bother me when people say that, and that's probably the problem.
Yep.
It should.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're trying again, huh?
I won't lose the weight. I will make the money.
Boom. All right. Well,
All right.
what's our sign off?
Oh, Patty the Batty. Or however they sing it.
Don't know.
I don't know. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thank you. Let us know if we're doing something good
Yeah,
or bad.
for real.
Give us what did I say? I even said it in here. Like, ask our clients. Not that anyone's our clients, but
We need feedback.
Feedback would be super cool, even if it's
Yeah.
like, you guys suck. Why are you doing this? But give us a reason why, so we can not suck and continue doing it.
Yeah. We don't want to suck,
No,
but we're going through the growing pains.
I have no gauge. I have no gauge.
Justin Gagey.
All right.
Peace.
Bye.
Thanks. Got a table for two at Tega. Thanks for watching.